What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. We are here with T, as always. If there's any updates, we are here to give you all the latest, just like the ice cream van outside, if you can hear it. We probably can't. But it's good vibes in the UK. It's good vibes in the UK. It's not raining for once. The ice cream man is out. The sun was shining. And with Palace, there's still a bit to talk about. As always, we want you to get involved. So let us know your thoughts in the live comment section and in the comment section down below. Most importantly, because I know a lot of you watch it on replay. And if you do enjoy it, like and subscribe, please. Takes a second of your time and helps us out massively. T, England in the finals. England. Gahey get a lot of praise. Hey, I mean, before we start with the Palace news, your thoughts. Are England going to do it?
Hey, man, is it coming home is the question, man. Good performance. I think that was by far their best performance in the entirety of the tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
Really
especially
forward, really after it. Yeah, especially in the first half. I mean, Phil Foden, though he didn't get a goal, he was really aggressive. Really trying hard for that goal. God, that goal that Ollie Watkins scored, man. Whew.
That is clutch. That is what you call clutch.
That was a tough angle. Like, there was nothing that was easy about that goal opportunity.
Yeah. And that was the most encouraging thing is that was the best performance so far in Euros.
Yep.
Especially as I said, stuff. Look, for me, England had to go through against Netherlands. I've seen Netherlands versus Turkey, and Netherlands, they're not great. Like, for me, England had to go through. If they didn't, I even used a word in a private chat with someone, it would have been a shambles if they didn't. Now they have. Now it's the big test. Spain is, they literally, their system is just perfect. Like, it's been working out. They are the best team so far in Euros in terms of the football played from game 1 to the finals. And it is going to be a massive test. But it goes down to Gareth Southgate. You know, he has to win these types of games. You can't just, beat Netherlands and Slovakia and Switzerland, and then when the big team comes up, you lose again. You have to. The Italy Euros finals, his negative approach especially didn't work out. So let's see what he does in this game. He has to. Gahey, though, just quickly, a lot of praise. And finally, hopefully, those fans from other clubs who tell us about how much Gahey's worth, and he's always only worth 40 million or 30 million, just please respectfully shout. Are you not seeing this guy play? Does this guy look like he's worth 40 to 50 million pounds? Especially in today's market.
They're going to have to back up the Brinks truck. Do you hear
Most consistent England player all tournament. If you're looking at from game 1 to the final game, I know there's been a few plays. I know Phil Foden yesterday looked good. But Gahey has been the one. He's been the one so far. And once again, he's done his job. And that is why he's worth 70 to 80 million pounds for Palace. Just like Elise was worth a lot more than he went for. Hopefully we can, if we were to sell him, get that fee out of Gahey, because, I mean, it's not a surprise to us. We've known it. But all those others that can't comprehend the fact that Crystal Palace might have players around 70 to 80 million pounds, hopefully they realise now. Like, they can see it with their own eyes. Like, we've seen it for ages. Common England, JSY saying evening. We're both good. We're going to get into Palace news. Hopefully you're well as well. Rooting for England and Colombia. Munoz, quickly. Let's not do any disrespect over to Colombia as well for our Copa Americans over there. They're in the finals, right? They're in the finals. Yep, they're in the finals. Munoz unfortunately got a red card. He's been getting a lot of praise in this tournament, so he'll miss the finals. I think he put out an Instagram post saying he's heartbroken for it. Lerma scored. He should be playing in the finals. T, what's going on? Small Crystal Palace having about 6 internationals, I believe, representing over Copa America and also the Euros, the finals.
You love to see it, man. You love to see it. I think it's really a testament to what we're doing. It's really a continuance of the brilliant football that we've seen being played at Crystal Palace, and now you're seeing with 6 players playing between the 2 major tournament championships, man. So
I just quickly need to bring up this comment before we do get into actual news. England best cheaters in the tournament. I guess it might be from Netherlands Spiritual. I don't know. It's hard to say where people are from. But For me, I'll be honest. I didn't think that was a penalty, even though others are saying that if it was anywhere else out on the pitch, it would have been a foul. I disagree. I just don't think that was a penalty. I just don't think it was a
I've
penalty.
never,
But I
I,
think he cheated. That's
I've
not even
never
talking
seen a
the
penalty
game.
get called like that. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It didn't strike me as one either. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it didn't as well. It didn't as well. But let us know. Let us know. Are England going to do it? Are Colombia going to do it as well? We'll see some champions come to Palace before as they return to preseason. Let us know. Let us know. Let's get into the Palace news. By the way, people, if you are just joining us now, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Because of course, now it's the juicy parts. The juicy parts where preseason started, and this player hasn't really gone away. He's been on our radar for a few weeks now. And that is on Jaden Philogene, who, of course, is at Hull, but has had numerous interests. Let's start off with him. According to Alan Nixon, Crystal Palace are monitoring the situation with Philogene. This is not a surprise. This is something that we already know about. But the important part of the story is that they do not, that is Palace, they do not want to overpay. His move back to Villa has hit a snag. I said it to you off air, and I'll say it here as well. I'll be honest, with this Philogene situation, I just feel like it's like the most half-hearted approach that we've had all summer. I just don't get I don't know, it's a feeling, of course. I'm not saying this is 100% the case, but I just don't get the sense that we are so desperate for him. Like, we really want to push for him. Like, everything, it seems like we're just waiting on the sidelines to see, if he takes our offer, he does. If he doesn't, we move on. It's not like we're desperate for him. Are you getting the same vibe? Especially with this news coming from Alan Nixon that we want to overpay?
Yeah, I mean, we don't seem desperate. We don't seem too bothered if it doesn't work out for us. And I think that's a sign of good things. It's a sign that we've done our due diligence as far as scouting of Philogene and of other players. We have an understanding that, we have a set list of targets that we're going to try for, that we're going to, do our due diligence with to try to get. We put out our offer that we feel is fitting on the value of the player. And if the player, I mean, we've agreed with the team, whole city has agreed with what we wanted to do. So the team saw our evaluation the right way. So now it's just a matter of the player. So I think, we're comfortable with where we are, what we're doing, what we have, and the way we've planned. So it's a great thing to see that, we're active and we're trying to make moves, but at the same time, we're not desperate. So we're not going to be out here overpaying or overpromising anyone anything.
You say that, but when you actually look at the price tag that's been rumored around, his price tag is not high as it is already. That's why, what does overpaying even mean? I mean, with the Aston Villa, you said that they might have a discount, but I saw around £18.5 million. And that is normally the price tag that we go for when we look at first team players. We don't really pay above £25 million. So far, we haven't. So what really is overpaying? That's why I get the sense that we're not really desperate for him. It's not nothing to do with overpaying.
I
It's just
think
like, it is what it is.
to answer your question, I think the overpaying piece is probably more along the lines of, now, like I said, since we're negotiating with the player and not necessarily the club anymore, it could be in the form of overpaying in wages,
Yeah.
overpaying in bonuses, overpromising in his role. Because naturally we're competing with other teams. You know what I mean? So it was originally reported that three teams had all had deals agreed and were in talks with the player and his representation. So us, Ipswich, and Everton. So at that point, we're competing with these other clubs, and who has the sweeter or better package. So now it's kind of like we're coming in. We were coming in saying, "Hey, here's our package for you. This is the wages, this is the bonuses, these are the add-ons that you can get as far as your incentives," and that's what it is. you know Rather than us presenting something and then sweetening the deal and sweetening the deal and sweetening the deal to where he becomes more highly paid, and he comes in with an understanding of, hey, I'm a starter from day one. You know what I mean? So once again, we're not in a desperate situation, so we're probably, you're not seeing us agree to those things necessarily.
Look, that's a very good shout. It is. It is. I didn't really think about it like that, but the overpaying factor could go to wages, could go to promises, and
Yep.
all of those bonuses. But
Yep.
yeah, I mean, would you be upset if we didn't get him? Because
No, I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset simply because it seems like we're doing a really good job with scouting and identifying talent that we could go for that play a similar position, similar role. And I mean, at this point, I really trust Dougie and what he's doing. So, no, I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be the end of the world by any means.
Yeah, David saying I'm relaxed with Dougie Friedman and Oliver Glasner taking care of business, and rightly so. I mean, we were all happy when Dougie rejected Newcastle and Glasner rejected Bayern Munich to start the football club, but sometimes we forget who they are because we haven't really seen that many games recently. So I mean, both of them done a fantastic job on and off the pitch. Personal terms, and this is the Aston Villa links, which you said as well, T. Villa have the option to match all bids within 3 days with a 30% discount. So that might even be the case. The fact that, Villa, but then again, the report from Alan Nixon suggesting that them talks between Villa and Hull seems like it's kind of stagnated. So we're not too sure exactly what goes on there. But Leon saying, come on, England. We already spoke about England at the start of the show. But yeah, as I said, I don't think I'll be surprised if it happens. I'll be very surprised, but I just feel like we're just sitting on the sidelines, and that is not a bad thing. I just feel like we're not really desperate for him, and if he has offers to play first team football elsewhere, then he might just take that, and it might work out better for him. But you win some, you lose some. But right now, according to Alan Nixon, as it stands, we're not willing to overpay on Jaden Philogene. But let's continue with Hull City because Rak-Sakyi has been linked with a lot of clubs this preseason, and Hull City have made a late entry to the race to sign Crystal Palace winger Jaden Rak-Sakyi as a replacement, funny enough, for Philogene. The Tigers have made an offer to take Rak-Sakyi out on loan. QPR, Watford, Blackburn, Luton, Sheffield United are also keen, and this is according to Alan Nixon. Jez, we spoke about him. We've said what they're going to take for this season for Jez to maybe be in the starting lineup or be in the squad. But I think we're more leaning towards him leaving rather than staying. Hull City, QPR, Blackburn, Luton, Sheffield United, some decent championship sides there, some sides that you're expecting to push to get promoted.
Yeah.
Would you, out of all them teams, would you be happy with all of them? Do you have any problems with any of the teams that's been mentioned out of QPR, Watford, Blackburn? Do you think it's the right move for Jess to move to a championship club that's pushing to go
I
up to
think
the front?
I think it's good for him to be on the competitive side. I think that's really important. But I think the most important thing out of all of it, regardless of how good the team is how much he's going to be playing in the championship. For me, I think if I'm looking at a Blackburn compared to a Watford, compared to a Hull City, I think the thing that for us and for Jez that matters the most is that he's going to be playing consistently week in and week out because it doesn't do us any good to put him at a Sheffield United who's probably going to be competing to be promoted back to the Prem if he's not playing. You know what I'm saying? So I think for us, the most important thing should be how often he's getting on the pitch and how much he's getting to play.
Not only just that, I mean, it's also him playing for a quality side with quality players that are trying to push up. Them demands of trying to get promoted. The championship is a very, very hard league. It is incredibly you come to the final few weeks of the championship and you have teams that are maybe ninth that could get promoted, and it's just wild. The championship is wild, so it's very demanding.
So let me ask you this, D. Then, would you prefer to have him be with one of those teams that are going to be competing to possibly be promoted or get into the playoffs, and he'd be more of a squad rotational player, or would you rather have somebody be with somebody that's going to be like more mid to mid low table, but he's starting every single week?
It's a very good question, and get involved in the chat as well. What do you think?
The chat, yeah. What do y'all think about that? Like, I guess
Yeah,
that's
for
kind of
me,
like
I
the
think
conversation.
look, if he wants to reach the top level, I would rather he challenges with quality players that are trying to push to get promoted as well. I think that helps his development, fantastically. He plays with better players. There's bigger demands on him. But then again, there's also that side of it. If he starts every week in Championship, he's still playing in the same league as he would in any other team. He gets good opportunities like that as well. I don't know. I just think also if you're looking to potentially look, let's be honest, there is that potential there. If you're looking to sell Rak-Sakyi potentially, if you think that he might not make at Crystal Palace, let's say he does get promoted with one of these teams, they might be willing to pay £5 to £10 million on Rak-Sakyi, for example, if he's challenging them. Whereas the mid-level to staying up teams, they might say, we don't want that, this is fine, and we can't afford Jaden Rak-Sakyi. Look, if you want to be the best, you push yourself to the most. I think Rak-Sakyi has a quality anyways. I have no problems with him joining the side. Does push him for promotion. And I think that is why Luton's mentioned and all the other teams mentioned, because they know that Rak-Sakyi will be a starter. And we'll have these conversations before he goes out on loan. What is going to be a squad role? Palace won't just send him out on loan for the sake of sending him out on loan. It'll be, where is Rak-Sakyi going to fit in your team? How often are you going to play him? And if that means that they can pretty much guarantee or thinking about him being a regular first-team starter as well as trying to get promoted to the Premier League, then I think that is the most ideal situation because his rep will naturally go up as well with those teams if he's performing at that level. Let's see if there's a lot of comments coming in the chat. Starting as many minutes as possible. Evan says that. Puncher Bag Plays also agrees as well. He needs the minutes. Cody saying he needs a loan to the Championship for a year and let him grow. So he's pretty much open to regardless of who it is. Paul saying go to Luton because they will be pushing for a return. So Paul kind of siding with me in terms of play for the best team and hopefully there's guaranteed minutes there as well. David saying Jez is a good Championship season behind Philogene. Michael saying imagine the war chest, Dougie Friedman and Oliver Glasner would have to take us up if all the potential sales are made. Look, I think he will get that Championship move. I think that move would be good for him and also for the club as well, for his development and also just creating this hype around him if you do want to sell him on. And, fingers crossed he does get that. Look, there is interest there. I listed so many clubs and clubs that are good quality. It's not like clubs at the bottom side of the Championship. It's clubs that are trying to get promoted. And he has got the talent. I've always believed in Jess. But the unfortunate thing is he could either stay on the bench for Palace behind Kamada and not really get that many minutes, or he could go to the Championship and build his confidence and get a few more minutes down the line. Are you surprised that he's not linked with a move abroad? Because there's been a few academy players that's been linked with a move abroad. What's your stance on that, T, in terms of playing in Championship versus playing, let's say, over in Belgium second league or Italian second league?
Well, one of the things I remember when he went on that before he went on that Charlton loan, one of the things that they said that was really important to him was staying in London. So I wonder how much it means to him to stay close to home, whether that be in London or still in England. Also, I guess it just depends on the quality of the abroad loan opportunities that may be there. Like we've heard about some of the younger guys going to Pisa, which is Serie B in Italy. It's like I think Jez is above that level. I don't think that's a suitable level for him. So that probably isn't as viable. A Molenbeek loan doesn't make sense for him because they're now in the second division of Belgium. I think he's a levels above that. So I guess it's all about the amount of opportunities and where like the right fit or the right level, should I say, with that type of loan. But
yeah, and I think that's a very good point. Look, Ozoh's been mentioned as well, by the way. Not today, not in today's news, but I've seen it previously being mentioned to Luton. I think imagine Ozoh and Jez going together. I think that would be good as well in terms of Luton's not even far from London, by the way. Luton's close, so that's not a problem. But places like Blackburn, a bit further out. But it would be also nice to potentially have a double package, right? Or no?
Yeah, that doesn't hurt at all because I think with the opportunity to have that double package will probably come a good amount of assurances with how they're going to be treated and the types of things they're going to get while they're there.
Look, let us know your thoughts as well in terms of Ozoh, Jez, Rak-Sakyi. Today, Rak-Sakyi's been mentioned to a lot of championship clubs. I pretty much expect him to leave. I think Palace expect him to leave. The question is, where does he go? Trying to find a right spot for him, but he's got a huge talent. Also, Animal saying, I don't want to lose Jez permanently. I don't think none of us do. But then again, let's see what happens next year. Because I mean, we're bringing in Kamada plus another player, hopefully. So would that push Jez down the pecking order? It's hard to say. Let's see what he does in the championship. Because I think it's a very important season for Jez to kind of prove himself to get in this Palace first team. Evan's saying Ozoh won't get many minutes with Lerman, who's ahead of him. And I think that is the right move, right? Sending Ozoh out on loan this year. I think he's physically built as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely want to see Ozoh loaned and not sold. I know there was some talk that Luton was wanting to buy him. I definitely would rather have him loaned because if he develops the way that we hope he does and that he can, like you said, he's very physically built. If he develops well enough in that 1 year, there's no guarantees that these central midfielders that we have this year are going to be there next year. You know what I mean? Adam Wharton literally lit the world on fire in that second half of the season. Check Doucouré's coming back from an injury. He's probably going to be playing at a high level. Jefferson Lerma would then be turning the corner into his 30s after this season. So there's a lot of things that our central midfield will probably go through after this coming season is over with, where somebody like a David Ozoh, if he develops, could step in and find himself in a pretty important first team role.
Yeah, if you have any questions, by the way, as we're approaching the last bits of the show, feel free to send them in, put a Q and a dot before it, and we'll answer them. If not, then we'll wrap up the show. Let's go through some of the comments and see if any questions come through. By the way, if you're enjoying it, like, subscribe. Thank you to every single one of you. I hate saying it, but it helps the channel grow. Sometimes you forget. Naturally, we forget. So if you forgot, you can just like, take a second of your time. If you're enjoying the stream, that'll be much appreciated. As we're reaching 5,000. 5,000 is a big mark for this channel, especially where we started, and the community is growing and growing and growing. So thank you to every single one of you. Really appreciate you all. Mr. Genius Maths says a friend of mine is a Hull City fan, and he says Philogene has not been the same player since an injury last season. I hope we don't sign him. I'm not really that fussed about signing him as well, but that's a interesting comment. Cody saying, I think if Rowe leaves Norwich, Jez would fit in perfect there with a competitive team. I think Jez fits in a lot of championship sides. And that's why all of these teams that we mentioned, I think, how many teams were there? We mentioned QPR, Watford, Blackburn, Luton, Sheffield United, Hull. 6 teams. Six teams.
Yeah.
Exactly. 6 quality teams in the championship that are going for him. I agree, T. Ozoh needs to stay an Eagle and just go on a loan to grow. He has too much upside to leave us now. I agree as well. I agree. Out of them two, let me ask you a question. Out of them two, who do you think has a bigger chance of being successful at Palace? David Ozoh or Jaden Rak-Sakyi?
David Ozoh.
And why? What's your reason?
He's very much built for the game that we want him to play. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He plays well with the ball at his feet. He's the type of, I think he's really made, he's like really well and capable to play in a 2-man midfield. I think some of the knocks on Jez are his physical prowess, and he's a little bit more slender. He's extremely skilled, but I don't know. I feel like of the two, I'm more apt to go with Ozoh. Not to mention Ozoh's younger. Ozoh's what, 3 years younger?
That's a good point. How old is David Ozoh exactly?
I think
the thing is, he's so physically built. You don't realize he's young still.
He's only 19. 18. He might only be 18, maybe 19.
He's 19. Yeah.
19. Yeah, just tell you, he turned 19 in May.
So, look, spiritual disagreeing. He's saying Jez, definitely. Let us know in the chat. Who has a bigger chance of being a success in the first team level? Who out of Ozoh and Jez Rak-Sakyi, who do you see at first team level?
And the thing about it is, I think I respect both sides in this argument. Like, I don't think there is a wrong answer here. I think there is just the belief that people have one way or the other. But I think I respect either way.
Yeah. Cody saying Ozoh has a better chance. He's a man-child that gets after it on offense and defense. Very strong player that can be a huge part of our squad in the future. I agree as well. Dave saying Ozoh. Callum saying Ozoh. Yeah. Nick complaining. You know what's funny, Nick? I was actually thinking about that right now. I was
Put the
actually thinking about
diagonal
that right
team.
now. Look, Nick, what about the thumbnail? You like the thumbnail? At least, at least give us some praise somewhere. We kind of
So
made
Nick
it.
not a fan of the background? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
exactly. We're working on it, Nick. We're working on it. But yeah, a lot of people say Ozoh. A lot of people say Ozoh. So yeah, I think Ozoh as well right now, but Jez also has that potential. Maybe are we saying Ozoh because of the fact that we already have quality forwards? Maybe that's come into consideration. I don't even know. There's a question
It's
here
a
as
little bit
well.
both
Do you
because
see
honestly,
Ozoh as a younger player?
your opportunity to get in and break into the first team that plays into it as well. You know what I mean? So,
Evan saying, do you see Ozoh like a younger Decore?
man, look,
I
if
don't
that's
know.
the case, man, I pray to God because he's bigger than Decore. He's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
probably
He's more
faster than
physical.
Decore.
I don't know. I think Ozoh is going to be more of like a box-to-box player in the future. I'll be surprised if he's not, because I think he's physically built for it, running up and down the pitch. I mean, Decore kind of is.
And that's why I'm saying I think he's great for a two-man midfield because he has to be more expansive as a player to play in that two-man midfield.
Gaika saying, to be fair, to be honest, it's still to be seen if Jess can make it at this level. Paul saying, D, what's happening with Eze's brother? No clue. He's still in the academy, right? Nothing's happened. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the questions. If you have any questions, we'll go through them right now. I know there's a couple of them. Whilst we'll go through them, if you have any, send them through as well before we wrap up. Before we actually go on, Spiritual saying, I believe Ozoh will be worth £50 million one day. It's a bold take, but you never know.
I like it though.
Exactly. He's got a physical build. Animal saying, is it coming home? Is it coming home? We already spoke about Euros at the start. T, do you think it's going to be happening? I guess we'll do some Palace news episodes.
Man, that's a hard one to call, man.
If you want me to be honest, let me be honest. Spain are the favorites. That's my take.
For sure. Spain
are the favorites.
To a point, man. Like if somehow England pulls it out, Gareth Southgate.
Well, apparently he's going to get knighted. It's going to be Sir Gareth Southgate. So
he's a lead. Like he's like when you honestly look at his stats, he's done great things for England that hasn't been done in a long time. But if he wins this Euros, man, like that man might get like a 10-year deal. Like
I think he wants to go regardless, right?
I don't know because who knows? I mean, after if he wins this, the treatment that he's going to get from England and the fans and man, he would. Why would he want to leave? I don't know. We'll see.
Also, let's include Lerma and also Munoz on this. Is it coming home for Colombia? Is it against Argentina? Right?
Yep, it's against Argentina, and honestly, they got a good chance of winning that game. But not having Munoz is tough.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me bring up this comment. It's amazing how jammy England have been. I'm not even going to disagree. Like you look at Slovakia game, pretty fortunate. Saka, fantastic goal against Switzerland. I mean, the performance haven't really added up so far. But then again, at the end of the day, it's about winning. If England get jammy, even if England have one shot on target against Spain and end up being Spain, no one's going to talk about how England were jammy. So that luck might even give you the hope that England could be winning this tournament and it could be coming home because of how lucky at times England have been.
So hit me to the lingo. What is jammy?
What do you mean? Oh, you don't even know. You don't know what jammy means?
No.
Lucky.
Does jammy mean like clunky, clumsy, like not that great? Like what?
It means lucky, basically.
Lucky. Jammy is lucky. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that could also translate to, if they get lucky in the final, if they've been having luck on their side, then.
And I mean that's what I mean, and we talk about it all the time in the chat. Like this type of setup, it's to this point, it's survive and advance. and you got to be in form, and you also have to be fortunate and lucky. So, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure a
Let's
lot of
see.
those
Let's see. Let
Netherlands
us know.
fans thought that luck was on their side when they scored that first goal.
Yeah, between England and Colombia, is it coming home? Who's bringing it home? If either of them, let us know. Let us know in the chat as well. This is now a bit more interesting topic. Is a topic that's been, I think, that we're going to get into a bit more after Sunday. I'm expecting Gay rumors to fly through the roof after Euros that he's had. But do we think Gay will sign a new contract?
I think
So hard. Personally, I
I
think it's
still
very
say
hard to
yes.
answer this.
I still say yes,
Why?
personally.
Why?
Because I think he stands to do more for himself by signing the contract than by not signing it.
What?
As
I
far
mean,
as his valuation, as far as the money that he'll command for himself in the form of wages and bonuses and all those things, if he signs a new deal and he's being valued higher with more more money being involved, being paid to him, I think that just makes it to where teams have to come in and be more serious and pay him more as well. But I don't know if he just wants to
he's got kind
move
of
though. But if he just
he's
wants to leave, if it's just the fact that he's just ready to go, then the valuation piece probably doesn't even matter. But
just part of me is thinking he's got a lot of hype after this Euro, so surely some teams are going to be pushing Palace, like seriously. But then again, where does it go? Where does it go? Man United potentially. Arsenal already sorted in that category. Maybe Liverpool, and also for the price tag as well. For me, the price tag is. I would still. I haven't changed my mind. I'm still open to selling Gahey. Like I think he's our best defender. Not just because of the Euros. I think he's been our
yeah, I
best
mean, I'm
defender.
definitely open to it too. But money talks.
Exactly.
Like it's
If,
gotta
if it's
be it's
if
gotta
it's
be the
70
right
to 80
business.
million pound, I'm open to it because I think that's good amount of money that can be reinvested, and I have faith in Glasner's system and also the players that we have that we could deal with him. Like we could deal with
100%.
life without Gahey. I think it's. I don't know why. It's a very good. If you ask me why do you think this? But I think it's easier to replace centre backs than with creative attacking forwards. I don't know why. I don't know why. I feel like maybe because of our business or our system. I just have confidence. I'm just confident with Glasner at the football club that even if you lose Gahey, I don't think everything's going to crumble. How many games did Gay play under Glasner anyways? Like we saw the defense was fine.
Yeah,
Also,
we
and
played
also if you
we
said it,
played
we're
really
bringing
well.
another
We played really
replacement.
well without him. We did.
Yeah, we're
We did
bringing
play
another
really well without him.
replacement. And on top of that, we'll have money to spend elsewhere. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I don't know. Maybe that's unpopular opinion. Of course, I want him to stay, but I'm not going to cry if Gay leaves. Like I'll be more upset if Eze or Elise leaves than Gay.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
how I
only
see
be
it.
upset with Gahey leaving if it's for like $40 million. Like that's
That's
not.
the thing. Maybe the price. The price could upset me. But if we got
Yeah.
70 to 80 million pounds for Mark
I'm good
Gay,
with that. I'm good with
I'm
that.
good with that.
I'm good
I
with
can
that
live with that. I can live with that.
because we already signed Chadi Riyad, and then you probably turn around and use maybe 20 of that 80, so only a fourth of that 80 mil to bring in somebody like a Maxence Lacroix. Like I'm all for that.
Exactly. Imagine spending 20, 25 mil on the crop. But then the hard thing is, if we sell him for 70 to 80 mil, I'm not saying that we will. If we were to sell Gay for that much, then teams will realize we have that much money. So then price tag.
But in Lacroix's situation, they're not going to be able to hold him for ransom like that because he's in it going to a contract year. So they're not going to be able to just, hold him ransom for a crazy amount of money because he's going into the final year of his contract. So they
Can't you
stand
say the same
to,
with Gay though?
huh?
Can't you say the same with Gay?
No, Gay's got 2 years left.
But then I mean his price automatically if he doesn't extend this summer, like, that's the biggest thing. If he doesn't extend and he runs down his contract, January next summer, his price just automatically comes down.
Oh yeah, it comes down, and
This is the most we'll get for Gay.
but I don't think we'll let it go to that. I don't think we'll let it get to that point. You know what I mean? I think if Gahey doesn't sign the extension, that we'll sell him this summer. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it'll just be negotiations and finding the right price. But I don't think it'll be a situation like LaCroix's where we let him get into the summer before his last year with us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like we all know that teams, like when a player gets to that situation, teams lose so much so much selling power. Like they just
And
they,
that's
they
what we
don't
don't want
have
to
it.
be in. That's why this summer is very important for Gahey. If he
Exactly.
doesn't want to sign a new deal, then what happens? Like, I mean, if he's not signing a new deal, you can't force. You can't hold a gun to his head and be like, you have to sign a new deal. Then I think things get a bit more serious. Do we take an offer for £60 million? Do we? Or 50? Do we? I don't know. We might do. Depends on how the club view the situation. Let's go on to the next question. Nick saying, will Munoz get a winner's medal if Colombia win the Copa? Yeah, he should.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's played enough games. He's been one of the most important players.
Dude, he's still. I mean, even though he got that red card, man, he's still in line for team of the tournament.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. Yeah, he's been praised a
he's
lot.
been that good for them.
Yeah. I've been talking to like other creators like Saeed and all of that. He's been doing watch-alongs for the Copa America. He's saying, yeah, that Munoz player is a baller. I mean, we've seen him at Palace last year, but I mean, it's probably similar to Gay. He kind of talks in terms of we know how good they are. They didn't want to listen to us. Now they're seeing it for themselves.
Now they're seeing it.
Yeah,
yep.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now they are seeing it.
What was that?
I said, yep. Now they are seeing it.
Yeah, they are. When does Mitchell's contract expire?
Next 2025
as well.
Yeah, he's going into a contract year.
Oh wait, next summer. That has gone under the radar.
Under the radar, brother.
That is a bit okay. I mean, we've been busy talking about other stuff, but if it expires in 2025, that's another. There's been no interest of Mitchell though. I think he'll sign a new deal. I
mean, Ty is the kind of guy that I'd be highly surprised if he didn't sign a new deal. You know,
yeah.
I also wonder how much of that is tied to, us bringing in somebody like a Ryan Sessegnon, possibly. How does that affect the way the Ty feels, or if he's going to come back or not? But I mean, yep. Transfer market has his contract expiring June 30th of 2025.
Just, I mean, we've extended likes of Schlapp and Ayu, but Mitchell still.
Because he signed that he signed that 4-year deal in 2021 during the pandemic.
Yeah. Let's move on to a few other questions before we wrap up. So he's been linked with us as well. Trundle, the question. Geez, sorry, my laptop's gone crazy. Trundle saying, how do you pronounce this? I might butcher this. Akili Uche. Achilles.
Yep.
I've never heard of him as well. That's why I couldn't pronounce the name. And I'm not really great with pronunciations. He's 22 years old.
Yep.
I do know that, but apart from that, I don't know much about him. I'm not gonna even lie.
I mean, he's a good player. I mean, he's a good player right now in League One.
When was he linked with us? It was only like once, right? It's like a name drop.
I've seen a couple of articles that talk about us being interested in him, and most of his links are because of replacing Eze if we lose him, because Achilles is a right-footed player who plays mostly on the left side. So
okay, maybe that's why I haven't heard much of him. Do we get Ryan Sessegnon? I do think we do.
I believe
he's still
so.
training at the club, I think.
So.
It seems positive. And
that'd be
let's
great.
see how much of an impact he has next season.
Two really good free moves for us.
Very, very good. Especially if he can stay fit. If he can stay fit, don't sleep on the ability that he's had. Like, he was one of the most hyped up kids at Fulham. Like, he was very good. He was very good as a youth prospect. But look, people, we're gonna wrap up now. If you just joined us, make sure to check out the start of the show. If you're watching on replay, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's it from me and T. If you haven't already done so, like, subscribe, notification bell on so you don't miss out on future streams. And until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.